All right, 2025 NFL Draft Prospect Profiles. Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU. A lot of NFL blood in his veins, and this kid, I probably didn't pay enough attention to him earlier on. I had him ranked as my 5th or 6th tight end in this class, and now he's moved up to 2/3 between him and Elijah Royal. I am not high on Colston Loveland like a lot of other people. I'm really high on Tyler Warren, and I like some of the other ones as well. I do like Harold Fannin, I do like Gunnar Helm, but I'm putting Mason Taylor and Elijah Royal as my 2 and 3, and I do think both of them go in the second round. Whether the Bears take him there or not is one thing to question. I don't know if they view him that high, but every single team has met with him. I don't know if anybody else can say that. I haven't done enough research to know, but I do know Mason Taylor has met with every single NFL team. So it might be hard to snag him if you want him, and the range on him varies between everyone. But he is the son of Hall of Fame defensive end linebacker Jason Taylor. Joy Taylor is also his aunt, and Zach Thomas is his uncle. So he's got some rich blood, some people to help him out, some people to help him navigate the open waters of being a celebrity, of being an NFL player. So there's some help there, but he was in the Senior Bowl. He also in the Combine. The measurements are a little bit different between the two of those. You can see here at the Senior Bowl, he was 6'4", almost 6'5", 250 pounds, hands, arms, wings, and you can see he was over 6'5" at the Combine, over 251, 32 and a quarter, so a little bit smaller arms, and his wingspan was about the same, a little bit longer at the Combine. So it's interesting to see those things a little bit different. But one thing that pops off to me, you guys know how I love my low drops and my high contested catch. And when you look at film on him, I didn't watch a ton of film. I looked enough to see highlights earlier on. Now I've looked at an extensive amount of film on him. To me, he's a typical tight end that develops over time with a lot of strengths that you like year one. So for the Bears, this might be a really good fit. He's extremely disciplined in his route running and his hands. This is from the Combine. Running that straight line is actually really hard to do. So I pointed this out in my Combine video where I was reporting the Combine. That straight line is freaking tough. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking over him, so I'm sorry. But I was just pointing out that straight line is really hard to do. That straight line, while you're keeping the focus, going back and forth between side to side, that shows his route and his discipline so far. That's the one thing he's really good at. He's got really natural hands. He can pull the ball away from his body. He doesn't have to be a body catcher. He can pull the ball away. He can catch really, really well. So I like that aspect of his game. His blocking is something suspect, but, I mean, honestly, how many tight ends are excellent blockers? There's some, but it's hard to find the perfect, well-rounded one. That's something that can develop too. Tight ends usually take 3-4 years to develop in the NFL before they become that true, top end tight end in the league. But I feel like he's one that could develop really well. Good body size, good height, decent size in his hands and arms. A little bit small if you look at his arm and wingspan, but he doesn't struggle with that because you see constantly he's reliable in catching clutch situations away from his body. You see it on the tape nonstop. So as I always like to do, I'm going to go ahead and read from the strengths and the weaknesses of him. Be able to show you guys a little bit of what the scouting reports say for him. So they say he's a natural hands catcher who plucks the ball away from his frame with consistent technique, showcased repeatedly against some of the best competition in the SEC. Outstanding spatial awareness against zone coverage, consistently finding soft spots and adjusting routes based on defensive leverage. And you'll see that on these highlights. You'll see him constantly finding open spots to get to. Fluid athlete who changes direction seamlessly, demonstrated particularly well on open routes and seam patterns. He's a reliable target in the most clutch situations. See game-winning conversion versus Alabama as a crucial fourth down catch against Ole Miss. Creates chunk plays after the catch, showing natural runner vision. Generated over 700 career yards after his receptions. Advanced route stem technique helps create separation. Effectively uses head fakes and tempo changes to manipulate defenders. Excellent ball tracking skills on vertical routes, consistently adjusts to throws while maintaining speed. Shows veteran savvy working against zone coverage, particularly finding voids between hook and curl defenders. So you're going to see here that he actually is a decent blocker as well. So we'll just get this one a little bit forward. Decent blocking there, holding off the defender. Looks pretty good. I mean, he's got some work to do. But it's not like he's a bad blocker. He's just not, going to be the perfect prospect from day one in that regard, in my opinion. So the strengths and then the weaknesses, they say struggles to anchor against power rushers, gets walked back to the pocket when trying to pass protect, needs significant technical refinement as a run blocker. So all these things related to blocking. Limited experience as an inline tight end, primarily operated from slot or wing alignments. Must develop more sophisticated route running tempo to avoid telegraphing breaks against NFL defensive backs. And in his summary, they say Taylor has all the tools to carve out an early role in a passing game, particularly working against zone coverage from the slot. And lo and behold, what do the Bears need? Need a slot receiver. So this might work out well for 12 personnel sets to line him up that way and have Cole Kmet more in line. We'll see. His consistent production against SEC competition wasn't just about scheme. Watch how he manipulates defenders with subtle head fakes, tempo changes throughout his stems. While he's not going to consistently separate from NFL safeties in man coverage, his intelligence and route running craft more than make up for average athleticism. That clutch two-point grab against Alabama showcased his ability to deliver in tight windows under pressure. The concerns about Taylor's blocking show up repeatedly on tape, particularly when asked to handle defensive ends one-on-one. His high pad level and technical flaws limit his effectiveness at the point of attack. Now, before I go any farther, picking up Smythe in the offseason as our tight end 2 or tight end 3 is an important aspect of this. We have a good blocking tight end that we just picked up who has eye upside too. This would be a good tight end room revolving. The three of them would be a good rotational tight end with Cole Kmet, Mason Taylor, and Smythe. The three of them would be really good. So they say Taylor profiles as a complementary piece in the NFL passing game who can develop into more with time and coaching. His reliable hands and keen understanding of defensive structures will earn quarterback trust quickly, especially on crucial third downs. The ceiling might not be sky high, but his floor as a movable chess piece in the passing game gives him immediate value. Give him 2 years to add play strength and refine his blocking technique, and you could be looking at a solid contributor who can handle an expanded role in multiple personnel packages. That's from Bill Miller, SEC Scout. So I really like the scouting report on that. I think we don't need a tight end one. Now, obviously, we have interviewed and met with Tyler Warren as well, so maybe the Bears see him as a big part of that package in the future. But I don't think we need to have a tight end one. I think we've got options here with the Bears to be able to have a good tight end too, to be able to revolve. So you see the different places have him where they have him listed. NFL.com, I'll have him all the way up at 29. ESPN at 35. Yahoo Sports right there. Todd McShay as well. Walter Football at 43. I've got him anywhere from around our second round pick, 39, up into the mid 50s, 55. I think he'll go somewhere in there. Same with Elijah Arroyo to me. Anywhere seeing him in the third round I think is unrealistic. He is one of the top tight ends in this class. So I think he'll be a good pick for someone. But like I said, all 32 NFL teams met with him already. How many bring him in for top 30 visits? I don't know. But they met with him at the Combine, at the Senior Bowl, at different various venues. They've all met with him. So that's pretty significant that he is sought after, that he's looked at as a serious option for teams. And I would hope the Bears would take a serious look at him, whether they end up deciding to do that. Perfect scenario for me. If the Bears go ahead and execute a trade down from 10 to somewhere in the mid-teens to late teens and pick up another second rounder, we always use that example of the Seahawks at 18 and 50. Take 18 from them and take 50. If we can get him at 50 and he lands there at 50 and we are able to get him or Elijah Royal, one of the two there at 50, I think it's a great trade now scenario to be able to get a tight end too and be able to still pick up all the other needs that we have. Then we could pick up a tight end with the free pick. That's what I would like. So let me know what you guys think about Mason Taylor, though. I think he's a good prospect. I think he'd be fun to see in a Bears uniform. Whether other teams go after him too early is another thing, though. I don't know if they will. I don't want the Bears to go too early with the needs we have, but I do like him as a prospect. So with that, till next time, appreciate you tuning in. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Dabears and Bear Down.